How we doing, everyone? Welcome back to the next episode of Gaming Buds. I'm Matt, of course, joined on the couch by Connor. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm playing one of my favorite games right here. So,
Yes,
or at least a game based around one of my favorite characters.
Yes, so we are going to be playing Spider-Man. I guess this is called Marvel's Spider-Man PS4 is the best way to call it, because so many things are called Spider-Man nowadays. But yes, you did say you really wanted to play this game. This is one of my favorite games too. I wanted to do another episode of Octodad. You were really against that, so here we are playing Spider-Man.
All right, you had your fun. Now I get a chance to actually play a game I want to play instead of getting tortured with Octodad. All right. Besides, I'm still looking for a copy of Squid Mom. So.
That's right. Oh wow, you got a lot of save data on here.
I've beaten this game to death more times than I can count, man. So.
This, I don't know if I got close to 100%ing this game or not. This was one of the games, though, was addicted enough to that when the DLCs came out and everything, I was like, I have to do it all. I can't stop. Like, it's just, this game was so much fun. It did everything everyone wanted this Spider-Man game to do. It's like, hey, the Batman Arkham games were successful, the combat's cool, and they have adult stories. Let's just do that, but with Spider-Man. And we got this incredible game from it.
And I guess, I remember when this game first came out, I was in college, and it was the same year, I think, Venom 1 and Into the Spider-Verse came out.
Yep, 2018.
That was a very fun year for Spider-Man fans, and I remember specifically, at the time, I was living with my mom and her then boyfriend, and I didn't have a PlayStation at the time, so... he did though.
Oh, so, okay. I
know who you're thinking, but
I was like, you didn't even have Spider-Man.
I could say Sony got me there, so but
I was just thinking of the meme. I have nothing left but Spider-Man.
Oh my god! I remember. So I went out of my way to purchase a copy of the game. And when I bought it, I played it to death. I think I missed a couple of classes in college because I was addicted to this game. I mean, I eventually graduated, so it kind of paid off at the end of the day.
It's so funny. This game came out about like 3 weeks before I went off to college, because my college started much later in September than a lot of other schools did. So this came out, and I remember it was my last 3 weeks of summer. I was just sitting there playing it and getting everything I can out of it. And luckily, I beat it before college, because then when I went to college, all of my when I met my first friend group who I was hanging out with, we all played this game and talked about it and loved it. So this was like almost the what got me with my first couple friends with college, which is funny, was this game.
Oh, look at that. Is that the outfit you were referring to earlier?
Yes, that is one of my absolute favorite Spider-Man suits. Just the classic black lines, red and blue. I mean, it's just from the old 90s animated show that I grew up watching, which was one of my first just exposures to Spider-Man and falling in love with this character. That was just like, I can't stop. Dude, I love that little opening. Just like he sees the papers basically that he can't afford his apartment anymore, but Spider-Man's calling. You got to do your dues. So the game developers, when they were making this game, actually went around Manhattan and recreated it building by building, street by street. Everything is the exact same. You can go to Manhattan and see everything in this game. Wait, is that the correct way to word that?
Yes.
Everything that's in this game is in Manhattan, so that's just something that's really cool. I had a couple of my friends who were from that area, and they were just like, "Oh my gosh! Like I grew up walking down the street to school, and like
there I am,
yeah, dude, there I am." So
why is Spider-Man beating the crap out of me?
I didn't do anything. But it's just, I love that attention to detail. It really makes this world and just swinging around the city feel even more real than it already looks.
There are times I've literally spent like a solid I think even with the second game, because if the swinging and the combat and all that stuff, everything in this game is considered perfect. Somehow the second one found a way to top it.
It's so true. It's so true. Well, honestly, what the second one did, which we probably will play a little bit at some point, what the second one did so well was it just didn't try to fix anything that wasn't broken. It just kept everything that the fans loved and added more on top. And I mean, a guy even said that's what this game did with looking at the Batman Arkham games. It's like, hey, Batman Arkham is so successful. This free roam, can fly around as Batman. The combat is a ton of fun. This sort of counter-based combat. We're just gonna make that but a Spider-Man game. And I don't know where the Superman version of this game is because it needs to happen like now,
Dude,
and it would make so much money, and I would play that game non-stop for the rest of my life if I could just fly around as Superman and then like fight crime and then just fly back up and keep doing my day like that. Where's that game? It blows my mind that game hasn't come out yet.
It's funny you mentioned that because I remember there was a game developer. I think he did God of War, the newer ones that came out. Even he pitched a cool idea for a Superman game.
Yes, I heard about this.
So
yeah.
it's the one where is like you're playing a younger Superman who's kind of learning how to be Superman. So hence why the development of being your powers and all that stuff comes into fray. Which I'm like, oh, that actually seems kind of natural on how you can make a Superman game. But for some reason, they just haven't gotten the right people to do it yet.
Yeah, and it's just interesting. I'm just curious if there's a rights problem with I'm blanking on the studio that makes the Arkham games.
Rocksteady, I believe.
Rocksteady. Maybe there's something with the rights with Rocksteady, but I just don't quite get why Rocksteady just isn't behind that. Like, we just got a VR Batman Arkham game, which again I actually heard was a ton of fun and a lot of people liked. I just don't have a VR. I'm not a big virtual reality fan of gaming anyway.
I attempted it a couple times. Like, I don't own one myself, but I don't own one myself, but I've gone to like arcades that have them and they're fun.
Yeah.
But they kind of give me a headache. So
yeah, I agree. I have a buddy who has one of the newer ones where we don't have to like set up the whole thing and measure out the room. That was a pain when it first came out. He has one of the newer ones you kind of just put on and play. And I've played Skyrim quite a bit of times on VR, which can be a ton of fun. I'm a big Skyrim fan.
I was gonna say that doesn't surprise me. I feel like you being a Skyrim fan, if they came out on like Nintendo DS, you would have bought a copy of it.
Which you know what? I'm so happy that just got brought up really quickly because we are recording this on November 15th, 2024. Not like the date really matters right here, but the PlayStation 4 turns 10 years old today. The PS4 came out 10 years ago, November 15th. I remember this date because I actually sat outside of GameStop for 6 hours for the opening night to get it when it launched.
I remember that. I stole the last PlayStation. You were all red. You were all red faced and everything. I remember casually giving you the finger and everything.
Do you remember the foam finger episode of Drake and Josh? I want like a flashback like that in that moment where like we're younger and you're like taking it and I'm like no.
And we've been friends since.
Yes. But yes, the PS4 turns 10 years old today, which is just crazy. I just still can't believe that. And I still play it all the time, honestly. I love my PS4.
Oh, man, I gotta say, I didn't get a PlayStation 4 till later down the line. I was more of an Xbox guy, but now that I get older, I'm like, granted, back then, I kind of relied on my parents to help me get the consoles, and now that I'm an adult now, I don't need to worry about that, but yeah, if I had to choose, I mean, back then, I remember, oh, jeez, what's going on here? Oh, for context, right now, it looks like the police are storming, Fisk Tower.
Yeah. Something to do with Kingpin.
Oh, jeez, I just knocked that dude out in one shot.
I mean, Spider-Man's got a pretty strong punch.
You know how many, I think there's comic book storylines where he's actually, has admitted multiple times he holds back on the regular.
Yes, I have heard that. That is just awesome.
I'm curious, I'm like, what villain has he fought where he has to, give it all he's got?
I'm as I've gotten a little bit older, I've kind of warmed up to the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. I kind of didn't like them when they were first coming out, but of course I really liked the third one, No Way Home, because I'm just such a Tobey Maguire fanboy that I couldn't help myself but love that movie. But one of the scenes in No Way Home that I love is when the Green Goblin like moves out of the way and the final fight really fast and Spider-Man's fist goes down and hits the ground and it just indents the ground.
That was like
that just you reminded me of that moment because I'm like, that's one of the few times I've seen Spider-Man go like hard. Like usually Spider-Man's very kid friendly and fun and is not really angry and all that stuff, but that was one of the moments where Spider-Man was pissed and it was kind of awesome.
I love the idea of like, Spider-Man, like he knows he's like Batman in a sense where like he knows he can kill, he can do all these horrible things, and unlike Batman, he does try to hold back a little bit. Batman on the other hand, he literally he breaks bones just so
Yeah.
someone doesn't recycle or something like that.
I mean, it depends on your version. It's not just Ben Affleck's Batman that's had some problems before with
No,
killing people.
I was referring to the Arkham Batman.
The Arkham Batman. I mean, even just there are so many different variations of the comic with that where you had a Batman who was much more brutal. Even if it's not Thomas Wayne, it's still Bruce Wayne. And I mean, even with Spider-Man, there's been different versions, whether or not it's the black suit Spider-Man or just a different multiverse version of Peter Parker. I think this game very wisely doesn't go so far into the adult themes and some of the more brooding nature of what the Batman Arkham games do have. I think at the end of the day, Spider-Man is more for kids and should be fun and not this desolate and sad. You know what I mean? Like, there's a couple Spider-Man games that came out back in the day. Like, I don't know if anyone who's watching has played like Web of Shadows or
dude,
right, or
so
like
many
like
good
like so many like really angsty Spider-Man games came out for so long, and then like going back and playing them it's so funny because like Spider-Man's like just like an angsty teenager, like explosions are happening around him and he's just like walking all sad, and it's so funny.
What I like about this one, because you mentioned the angsty teen and all that stuff, this Spider-Man decided to take the liberty and just make him like in his like mid-20s.
Exactly.
Like, this is what, post-high school, post-college.
Yeah.
All right, who are my enemies? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, those were good guys.
Oh yeah, those were the good guys. I those were the bad guys.
Crap.
Connor, we are recording. We're supposed to be professionals.
I don't get paid enough for this. Listen, man. I don't see the controller in your hand. All right, so
I'm waiting.
and well, you're gonna have to wait a little.
Oh,
longer.
there we go. Nice.
Right,
It's always the
Yeah,
one
you
guy. Oh,
Fine.
sweet.
You can
Let's go. All right. Oh yeah, I know how to use the focus bar.
I was gonna say we've been playing this games for God knows how long. I was gonna say I think I've been replaying the second one again because the game, in my opinion, is one of the best superhero games that come out in a very long time, and this is following up this one.
I agree completely. And I mean, both these games like genuinely have just been a joy to play through. If I had to have one complaint, and I don't think this is a fair complaint.
Here we go.
Maybe it is. I'm curious what your thoughts are. The one issue I have with these two Spider-Man games is the dialogue sometimes. Again, that's not taking away from the gameplay, the fun of the game, swinging around the city, nothing like that. It's just sometimes when the story takes over, the dialogue kicks in, it's just a little bit corny, a little bit cheesy, a little bit too on the nose sometimes for me, and I'm just like, it's a little...
Maybe you're just a little too picky.
And maybe I am.
Maybe you are. You know what? Spider-Man be disappointed in you.
Connor did not accept that critique. It's just my one issue. It's the one thing I'd be like, But I mean, again, I if it was something that was actually affecting like my swinging, then I'd be like, yeah, okay, these games aren't as good.
I can't imagine like how the dialogue would affect the swing. Imagine that. He just says "Holy cow," but you just stop mid-air while swinging or something.
All right. You know what? That's actually such a good point. So I mean, Spider-Man is without a doubt my favorite superhero. Definitely the one I grew up loving the most, and I've played most of the bad games Spider-Man has come out with, and
dude, come on, Spider-Man 3, the video game is a masterpiece.
I'm more or less talking about the Amazing Spider-Man 2 video game, which genuinely was a time where you had to turn off the dialogue to swing because the dialogue was so bad.
That I'll give you credit
and
for.
It was
that
like,
was terrible.
Yeah, it was like I just need to swing around normally.
When you're free, get out fast. If you can walk, help the injured.
This is a very iconic Spider-Man shot from a comic, which I love paying homage to. This is they actually paid homage to it in Homecoming when he's lifting all the things after Vulture like drops it all on him.
Okay, so I'll say this about the Tom Holland films. I enjoyed. I understood what they were going for, but a lot of the times, with the whole Peter struggling to be Spider-Man and Peter Parker, I felt like Tobey executed it a lot better. Because it just felt like Tom Holland's Spider-Man had too much help, in a sense where he had Tony Stark to help him out with a new suit, and then a lot of people were just understanding, and he just got away with a lot. While Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man had this thing where if he messed up, it's he can't exactly explain that he's Spider-Man, and when he does mess up, he can't make it to MJ's play. He's late for work or something like that, and he's late for college. he has some pretty nasty repercussions in a sense where I'm like, I can understand where this guy's coming from, where
Yeah.
you're trying to balance that kind of stuff. Granted, I don't exactly balance anything like being Spider-Man, not officially.
We all now know Connor's secret.
I'm actually I'm known as a Racta Kid actually, so which is ironic because I'm actually petrified of spiders. But, but back to the whole Tom Holland thing. I will say, I find the first one a little bit more entertaining, and I like this third one as well. The second one, I don't care for.
Yeah, I
It
can
was-
agree with you. The second one's definitely my least favorite. And I mean, I'll be completely honest. In no way is it the worst Spider-Man movie, but it is without a doubt my least favorite of all the Spider-Man movies. I'll watch Spider-Man 3 or The Amazing Spider-Man 2 before for an hour and a half they try to convince me Mysterio's the good guy. It's like, no, he's not. Stop
I was
trying to
gonna say,
convince me he's not the good guy.
I was just that I never understood.
Yes.
I gotta give credit where credit's due. At least for like the other Spider-Man movies, they never tried doing this whole fake out villain thing in the other Spider-Man movies. Like for Mysterio, like everyone knows the fish bowl thing. They know the whole mysterious, whatever. I guess the whole concept of him is that he's supposed to be the whole thing of illusion or whatever.
Yeah, and you get some really cool scenes where he's using the technology he uses, and you get like Spider-Man, like, and he's like just like switching realities almost. I can't think of the best way to describe it. Like that
As like,
scene, it's like a one take, and
It's the illusion and all that stuff. Which again,
Yeah.
that's why I like. Oh, hello.
they're criminals in disguise.
Police officers in under Fisk's payroll, which that's always a concept I've always liked in these shows and movies. But
Yeah,
since it's
I-
Spider-Man, he'll probably just make a punchline out of it.
I agree completely, but yeah, no, I hate the fact that they tried to convince me for so long Mysterio was the bad guy, and my big issue with Homecoming is just that for a big chunk of the movie, Vulture isn't even like hunting down Spider-Man. He doesn't even know about Spider-Man. He's hunting down Iron Man. So it's just like I can't view Homecoming as a Spider-Man movie because it revolves around Iron Man and the Avengers so much more. And I just prefer my Spider-Man stories around like Oscorp and Norman Osborn and
And that's why I love these games, because like even though they acknowledge the Avengers or at least other heroes exist, it's still a Spider-Man story at the end of the day.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's my biggest thing. Is Homecoming just isn't a Spider-Man story. My biggest thing with Spider-Man is he has to create his own villains, and at least Mysterio got sort of that part right.
Kinda.
But even like with Vulture, oh wow, I got too distracted with what I was saying.
It's
but
okay.
but even with Vulture, he thinks he's hunting down Iron Man for most of it, and Vulture doesn't even hate Spider-Man. Vulture's trying to kill Iron Man and take over Iron Man's whole gig. So I was just like, I don't know. It's just one of those movies where I get why people enjoy it, but I just not made for me.
I will say this, well, that's why I'm glad. I think No Way Home was kind of a course correction of sort with Spider-Man, at least for the MCU's
yes,
version.
definitely.
That's that, because even that movie, like, none of the villains had any connection. They literally, I think, within like the first like 10 or 15 minutes of the movie, they pretty much severed all ties to. Hang on a second.
Yeah, you got to get under him. Yeah, and then hold square. Oh, that works too.
Ooh,
That's always my thing. I always get under, then you hold square and you punch him up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like it. But yeah, so I even like the first two movies, like you mentioned, Vulture's going after Iron Man because of, I believe it was like he like kind of took the job from him or something like that and made him homeless.
Yeah. It was
then-
like he was cleaning up the Avengers mess from New York, and then like Tony Stark bought the property to like clean it up instead of his company. I don't know. It was something like that. And I mean, it's not my favorite Vulture, but Michael Keaton is so good in that. Role.
Like he nailed it.
He nailed it. I love Michael Keaton.
He was great, and then even I don't care for the movie, the Flash movie when they brought him back.
Yeah, he
was good in that
Yeah,
movie.
exactly. Yeah, he's great in it. I mean, Michael Keaton. It's hard to say he's always giving it his all. He's kind of like Tom Cruise in that sense. You can watch a bad movie, but Tom Cruise is always good in bad movies. You know what I mean? Like you're like, oh, Tom Cruise was good.
No, I was gonna say him. I know even with the Venom movies, kind of pertain to Spider-Man. Tom Hardy is kind of like that as well. Where I'm like, even though the movies are corny, goofy, you can at least tell Tom Hardy's having a good time with it.
Yeah. It's just crazy that, I mean, I'm not sure how long we've been recording for, how long we've been playing for at this moment, but we've just been talking about superhero stuff and Spider-Man, and we're playing Spider-Man, you know, there's a ton of those movies, but you just go back not that long ago and this superhero craze wasn't a thing. Like when you and me were kids growing up, sure they
You had Spider-Man. That was literally it.
yeah, sure they were starting with the Tobey Maguire movies, but I mean it's just crazy to see where like if I was a kid and I had this game, I probably would have failed school. Like I can't even imagine like having this amount of fun, just this amount of opportunity to swing around as Spider-Man, fight crime. Literally, you can change like the night and day cycle, switch your costume out. Like it's so many things that as a kid I would just beg for, but I never had the option to. But now it's all in front of me, and I still play these games, but just within the last 20 years,
I would
it's
say
become a
probably-
huge
I would
market. I mean,
say-
superheroes are everywhere now, and they were just comic books for so long.
I remember even growing up, like, unless if you had a specific hero, like say, I don't know, Iron Fist or something like that, or Luke Cage, like, you know, like kind of like a merchandise or something of the sort, you were considered a nerd. If you had Spider-Man, you were kind of just part of the mainstream because
Yeah.
Spider-Man was more popular.
Oh. If we die from this, we're gonna have to be like, all right, guys, we gotta stop talking for a little bit. We got to pay attention to the boss fight. Oh. All right, it is a little bit silly. Again, I'm just being critical. I don't really care,
Here
but it
we
is a
go.
little
Yeah,
bit silly
yeah,
that Vincent can do this much damage to Spider-Man. Like we were just talking about how Spider-Man has to hold back. What do you mean? Like he can't fight a normal jacked dude?
Did you call him Vincent, by the way?
No, I did call him Vincent. Yeah, Vincent.
His name is Wilson.
His
Fisk.
name is Wilson. His name is Wilson. Yes, it's funny that he can't fight Fisk. He has to like resort to all these other tactics to take him down. But like I feel like Fisk, he should be able to punch twice, and Fisk should be down.
I was gonna say, even now, granted, that's why I like about the MCU version of what's his face, Vincent and God, you got me doing.
I know, it's hard. Honestly, he's so good in the role. It's kind of tough sometimes. Like it's gonna be hard if there's ever another Kingpin, honestly, because he plays it so well.
I was gonna say he likes playing the character, and luckily he is coming back to play the dude
in Born Again.
which I'm very excited for. I believe it's coming out, I think, early next year, which I'm very excited for because it's maintaining the tone of the original trilogy, the
He's
series.
just chasing you. Like you keep trying to do other things and fight the other people, and he's just running out.
I like how there was when I was
He
playing.
just smacked you.
I was playing the second game not too long ago, and I was doing this thing where I was fighting one of the bad guys, Craven, and he's kind of like Fisk here, where he doesn't like have any like powers. He does, but in this moment he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's just running around, coming after me, and all that stuff. And oh, hello! I did not know he could do that.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not taking that. He's just grabbed you.
I remember. So there's a thing where I'm fighting him, and I'm swinging around and all that stuff. But I look on the ground and I just see him just trying to keep up with me. And it's like
yeah, similar to this.
Yeah, exactly like
Similar
this.
to Fisk
actually.
right now.
Like after a while, he just
Oh, he's gonna do the Batman Bane thing. Oh no.
never mind. Hello.
Don't click it. Nah, dang it.
Okay, fine. I think there's a couple other ones.
Yeah,
I'm actually kind of curious.
I love doing it in video games. Like, yeah, just don't do it. Oh wow, it worked. You still kicked them.
Oh,
There you go. You can do this.
okay, this one I can actually do.
But my favorite game to do that with is Until Dawn, which is the horror game,
Oh,
and
I
then you
love
just
it.
let all your characters trip and fall and let the killer catch up. It is so entertaining to be like, oh, look at the rock, quick square to avoid the rock, and you're like, nope, and the character just trips on the rock, and you're like, huh? But let's just take a moment. Just how beautiful this game is. I mean, the facial animations, the reflection in the buildings. I think that's my biggest thing that I'd always take away from this game. The reflections in the buildings really sell a lot in this game because you go back and play a lot of the old PS2 Spider-Man games. There's no reflections, and the buildings are just flat. And I never realized it until I played this one. It was like, oh my gosh, you can see. I could literally see my reflection in that window. It's just, it really creates the difference.
With a game like this, man, it always, for me, it's the little details that matter. And
Yes.
even to this day, when I'm replaying through this game, there are a lot of things that I I actually like to explore, and I even to this day I still find little details, even like games like this. What's another game we've been playing again? Red Dead Redemption 2. Fantastic game, which I got a kind of fun story that I can tell you about that game. I love it that even after all these years, we're still finding details in video games like these.
Yeah.
And this came out, 2018? So that's
yeah.
what, like,
yeah.
what,
So did
6
so did
years?
Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 came out. It was either 2018 or 2019.
It was
and just because I
2018,
had
I
that
remember
reaction, that Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of my absolute favorite video games.
Yeah, I
of all
actually,
time.
so not to kind of brag, I actually got to meet a couple of the voice actors from the original, from Red Dead 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah?
I got to meet Arthur Morgan and John Marston.
The guy who plays Arthur, I love a lot, and he looks so much like my buddy Joe from college that every time I see him, I'm always like, Joe? And I was like, I don't know.
He just
Red-
yells,
Red-
Lenny!
All right, guys, but I think that'll do it for this episode of Gaming Buds. We will probably pick up with this Spider-Man game again because this is a game we love, and so much of the opening bit is just swinging around and setting up some things that we want to do just a little bit more of the game for the story. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a blast because this is one of Connor and I's favorite games that we haven't played in a little bit, so we are excited to be sitting on this couch and doing that, and we hope you enjoy the ride.
All right, thanks for stopping by. And I gotta say, I hope we play this game sooner rather than later, because like Matt said, it's one of my favorite games. I love the character of Spider-Man. This game it does exactly what any Spider-Man fan wants, and
Gives you freedom. Lets
Exactly.
you just swing around and be Spider-Man. It doesn't force you to do anything. It doesn't make you do something. You can't go here. You can't swim. You can't do this. No. You can just be Spider-Man and have fun and fight crime on rooftops.
I was gonna say, there's a good chance we're gonna knock at least 3 of these guys off a roof. Just actually, can I?
It is actually funny that you will later, if you look, you'll see them like webbed up to buildings if they fall off. So it actually shows them not dying. And the game does like make sure Spider-Man doesn't kill anyone, which I
Can I get this
appreciate.
guy off the roof? Come on!
Yeah, watch, and then you'll see him. He'll get.
And
If you're not good at
oh, he hit the light post. Okay.
Wait, where is he? He's on the light post. Oh, he is the light post. Oh, wow.
I gotta say, I feel like that would hurt more than actually getting whatever. But
Yeah, true. But all right, guys.
on that note,
Yeah, thank you for sticking around and have a great one.
take it easy, y'all.